Hi everyone, welcome to a new Express Flute Tips video. Today I'm going to speak very concretely about the vibrato in the low register. This is something that some people have asked. In fact, some of you are really contacting me a lot of times and asking and proposing very interesting topics. And the most repeated one always is vibrato and articulation. But the thing is that, of course, I think it's very interesting because vibrato and all these topics related with flute, they don't have an end. I mean, we can speak about that for ages because we can always discover new things. But I think it's perhaps more efficient to speak very concretely about something. So today I'm not going to speak about the basics. I'm going to speak very concretely about how I use the vibrato as a tool for some tone development in the low register, okay? So also I'm not going to speak about the vibrato and the expressive, let's say, meaning it can add to the musical story we can create, because that will be in another video also. But it's totally a video that I want to speak about the vibrato and how it can contribute to create two kind of sounds. The one is like this one. One is this kind of sound, this of sonority, and the other one is how we can use vibrato to work the Okay, that it's this what I want to speak. Okay, the first one, it's simply this kind of sound which is very open, that needs, let's say, a lot of emptiness in the body placement, and yet that it's very beautiful for impressionist music and basically to play very sweet in the low register. The problem that it has is that it needs a lot of sustaining the sound. So we need to have the air with a lot of velocity, but the air, we have to be very empty. So it's like if we are playing this, okay, but in fact we're playing, and of course it's completely different because for the other top note the embouchure is totally different and the approach is totally different, and we are not so open. The placement, let's say, how we are vocalizing also, if we were singers, it's totally different. But the thing that it's quite similar is that we need this air support, this air supply, okay? So for this, in order to work that and not having the sound, let's say, very low in the intonation, that's when the vibrato can be useful and can be very, very interesting as a tool. Okay, so first of all, I really recommend that you are searching the contact point of this sound, of this sonority, first without any support, and it will be very low, but you can then isolate the sonority, and then once you have it, the vibrato comes to action. So maybe you go You can also try to do the two things. Try to do this. And so then you know that it's not there, the placement of the sound. So the contact point is totally there. So when you stop the sound and when you create the sound, you don't have these whistle tones. Okay? Once you have the sound very well placed, then of course it's low because it doesn't have any sustain. The air is not there. The power we need to play in tune is not there. So that's where the vibrato comes, okay? So with this starting point, the We start. So the feeling for me is that we start with vibratos low, very totally inside the sound so that we don't lose the color. So also we are practicing how to place the vibrato inside the frame, sound frame we are creating, and then progressively we play it faster, and it arrives to a point that the feeling is that we maintain the vibrato. So there is no vibrato, but the feeling is that we are vibrating so fast that really there is not. So it's like, boom, we're sustaining, okay? And this kind of feeling, it somehow will help to us to bring this support, okay? Because the strength we need to do these micro vibratos will be somehow what we have to do in order to not be so low when we play these kind of sonorities. Okay? So of course we can control with other parameters too. So we can play with other parameters, we can try to change the contact point a little bit, we can try to add even more pressure, but vibrato, it's really helping for developing that, okay? So that's first thing I think it can be interesting of this use of the vibrato. And the second thing, as I showed before, is simply for developing the sound in the low register. So basically it's the same procedure, but playing loud. For me, very important is that the contact point again is relaxed. So that when we are, the sound we start with working to trying to develop is not directly this one, this. No, we try. And from here, we start to make very exaggerated, progressively the vibrato. So that the hits we are doing with the air, the ha, 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 every time is more exaggerated, and we are playing with the border, so we know where is the point that it breaks. So we are trying also adapting. But then what they do is that they focus in the use of the air. So the vibrato helps for the later ha, ha, ha. Later it becomes so, let's say, violent that it's ha, ha. It's not ha, 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 like the vibrato. But the basic thing to work it and to make the sound develop, for me, it's the vibrato. So it can be very helpful to do a chromatic scale, for instance, or whatever, but etc. Okay? So I do this kind of exercises sometimes. Sorry that I didn't play all the notes, but I think it's somehow understandable. I hope that's helpful for you. I really think that the vibrato is a very interesting tool, especially for the control of the air. And yeah, try this out and let me know if that helps. So thanks for your interest as always, and see you in the next video. Ciao!